Wisdom says I'm nothing, but love says that I'm everything. And it's between those two that my life unfolds.
Hello, good day to you. Yogis, people joining me, those wanting to unwind, go within, find comfort in their bodies, find relief for our weekly foundational yoga pose series. Apologies on not having an upload last week. I had some vehicle issues that I had to take care of. Quite a busy week. We are back. This week's pose we will be going into today is plank pose, in Sanskrit known as Phalakasana. Phala meaning plank, asana being our posture. Plank pose is a cornerstone in strength, calisthenics, very foundational movement pose as well as in yoga. Helps you build your endurance, alignment. Has a simple form, yet it's very activating. It teaches you how to hold steady while under pressure. So in this class, we will be going over a simple flow, and the key pose being plank pose. We will explore some modifications, progression levels, alignment cues, how to protect your wrists, your shoulders, your lower back, help you build some core strength, and we'll move through a flow that helps you build that stability in your core strength. So grab your mats, blocks, any other props you might need, and we'll get started. Go ahead and meet me at the top of your mats. I will be standing at the back of my mat to be within the frame of the camera. It's Tadasana. Taking a moment to ground into right now. Thankful to yourself that you've shown up to your mat. The day that has come before us, stay behind us. The day that is yet to come, be where it is. Two guest stars today, Kovu, the big guy Diesel, might be joining us. Taking some deep breaths, sitting in your bellies, filling up your ribs, the back of your ribs, the front of your ribs. Exhaling fully. Releasing tension in our shoulders, our jaws, our brow, lower back. Go ahead and lift our arms to the sky. Taking hold of our left wrist with the right hand to a slight side bend. Here we're stretching into our right side. This vice of the right hand holding onto the left, using the left to stretch further into our side. Now back bending here. Stretching to the side, so this right foot staying firmly planted, stretching into our armpit, to our lats, our lower back. Inhaling back to center, switching holds of our wrists, grabbing our right wrist with our left arm. Side bending to our right, stretching our left side. Breathing in to where you feel the stretch, not holding our breath. If our breath becomes shortened in a pose, that is usually a sign our body is telling us to back off a little bit. We're not slamming into the brakes, but we're gradually palms extending towards the sky, exhaling into a forward fold. Here, your hamstrings are feeling tight, putting a slight bend into your knees. Still keeping deep breaths, reaching your head towards your ground. You can wrap your arms behind your legs, bring your hands to the ground, bring your hands behind your back in a clasp, in a bind. You can bring your arms in a carriage around your head. Here, initially, we're trying to release the pressure in our lower back, decompress our spine, putting a bend in your knees if it's too tight to come down more forward. As you exhale, letting more go, spilling the tension out into the ground with each exhale. Dropping our hands, can bring them to your shins, inhaling up to a halfway bend. Exhale, forward fold. Slowly rising back up, extending our arms. Here, taking your hands, you can place them as if you were placing your hands in your back pocket. You can come into a reverse prayer, so that would be taking your hands into a prayer. If I can get that. Behind your back. If you have the wrist mobility, you can tuck your hands upward, right above your tailbone, above your hip line. Apologies. And we're coming into a backward bend, just slight here. So here, tucking your tailbone, flexing your glutes, engaging your quads. And we're not tilting our neck back so much that we're letting all pressure go, but we're keeping a slight tuck of our chin. Bringing our hands to the sky, inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Bringing our hands down, stepping back to plank, or bring your hands forward. So here's our first plank pose. If you need to, you can bring your hands up onto the blocks. Go ahead and demonstrate that. You can always have your knees on the ground. Since we're working on plank pose, I would keep your toes tucked behind you. And into a plank. So here, as I mentioned in my previous classes, you want to be stacking your joints above your joints. My shoulders are directly above my arm or my wrists. Hands are planted firmly. And here is our guest star. Going to find a new nap spot. Coming down to our bellies. These blocks. Tucking your elbows into your ribs, coming into a baby cobra. Feet are planted on the ground, extending behind you, lifting your shoulders, your chest, your head up from the ground, using your back body to engage. We're not pushing up with our hands there. releasing back to the ground. Inhaling, baby cobra. Exhaling back down. From here, tucking our toes. You can come up to your knees or coming back into a plank pose. Hands above, or shoulders above your hands. Your hips aren't tucking too high into the air. Your feet are straight up and down as if you're pushing back to your feet. You have retraction in your shoulder blades. So as much as you can, while you're squeezing your core, you're pushing away with your shoulders, as well as pushing your hands into the ground. Downward dog. First downward dog, you can go ahead and walk out your dog. Tipping your opposite heels back, forth. You can wiggle your hips side to side. Take some movements. Keeping an attention on our breath. Shoulders are in a line with our ears. Chest pushing back towards the legs. Lifting our heels. Go ahead and step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Rising. Hands to the sky, hands to heart, and back to Tadasana. Go through 2 more rounds of sun salutation. On the next inhale, lifting your hands to the sky, staying in the moment. Halfway lift, stepping back, reaching forward to plank pose, taking a moment in plank again. Hands are spread wide. There's a rotation of your hands as if you were trying to open your mat out to the sides, and that keeps your shoulders rotated. In our plank, we're reaching back through our heels, head reaching forward. While we have our hands outwardly rotated, shoulders pushing, hands pushing into the ground, keeping engagement in your core as if we're trying to bring our belly button into our spine, but maintaining our breath. Bring your elbows into your ribs, coming into Chaturanga. From there, we can come up into our cobra pose, tucking your toes, back into downward dog. Time and places are all in. Oof. So much for copyright free. Downward dog. Letting little things that show up not become distractions. Not becoming points of contention. Not becoming emotional triggers, bringing our thoughts, our focus, our awareness back to our breath. Stepping towards the top of your mat. Into forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Slowly unfolding. Inhaling our hands to our sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Down to Tadasana. Lifting our hands back up to the ceiling. Forward fold, exhale. Stepping back out toward plank pose. So plank it takes a lot of wrist strain, shoulder work. We're using our whole body. So even from our toes to the tip of our head is reaching forward. Feet are pressing back. Your legs are engaged, your glutes. Your stomach is helping drive while not refraining your breath. Most important part. Bringing your arms into a chaturanga. Coming up, you can come up into a full upward dog. Or stay in your cobra. Difference is your knees are lifted. You can have your feet closer together if that's all right on your lower back and your hips. Recommend having your feet wider apart. Heart shining through. Tucking your toes back into chaturanga, up into plank. From here, dropping your knees to the ground. So come and do a few cat cows. Give your wrists a break. Grounding yourself for a moment. Dropping your bellies. Reaching your heart forward. Same outward rotation in your shoulders. Dipping your chin into your chest. Curving your back. As if the back of your heart could reach towards the sky. Inhaling into cow. As if we're dropping our bellies down. Exhaling, cat pose. Inhaling, cow. And one more time, exhale into cat. So we've held plank a bit now. We'll go ahead and switch into our hands a bit more. So go ahead and tuck your right hand on the back side. And from here, we're just leaning back as much as that feels comfortable. Leaning forward. Still expanding that hand wide. Reaching out through the ligaments. You can do both at the same time if that sensation isn't too much. So switching sides then, otherwise, left to the back of your hand planted towards the ground. And just stretching into that wrist, to the back of your hand. Taking a moment here, because this is opposite action of the wrist movement or flexion that we are holding while we're in a plank. So this kind of counters that strain. Putting our hands back down, Just rocking back and forth, a couple rounds. Bring our hands out to the sides. You can bring them out a bit wider than your mat. Dipping our shoulders in, tilting back and forth, side to side. And finally, you can also do this one at a time if that's too much. So still having our hands reaching wide as if we could fit jelly beans in between our fingers. Just slowly coming back. You can bend into your elbows if you need a bit more. Chose plank pose this week as my personal practice. Been doing some pretty basic flows with really long holds, and there's been times where we hold a plank for about 3 minutes and it's a killer, so just kind of fit the theme of today. Don't worry, we won't hold plank for that long. From here we'll come into a bird dog. So keeping the plant of your left hand, right knee, we're gonna reach back to our left leg. Bring our right hand forward, hip is in alignment. The foot that we're raising back, that hip is still in line with the right leg that is grounded. Go ahead and tuck your right arm into your left knee, keeping a curve in your back as if you were in a cat pose. Reaching your left foot back, right arm forward, tucking back in. Extending, retracting, reaching, coming back into center, reaching back out into your fullest expression. So this arm is still in alignment with my body. Leg is in line with my back, my glutes, my hip. Returning that to the ground, switching sides. Extend your right leg back, left hand forward. Finding your foundation and curling in, bringing your elbow to your knee. Reaching out, inhale, exhaling to center. Inhale. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. From here, go ahead and reach our left foot back. You can bring your right foot, you got that planted. This foot, the knife edge. When I refer to that, that is the outside edge of your foot. So your knife edge of your foot is planted firmly on the ground. To a gate pose or supported plank. From here, your shoulder is directly above your wrist. Your grounding comes from that knife edge of your left foot that's extended, as well as this knee that's under us. From here, we're gonna extend our left arm ahead or up to the sky. Bring that left arm forward, down to the ground. We'll come into a few shoulder rotations. Inhaling towards the sky, Exhaling as we bring our hand towards the ground. Final inhale as you bring your hand towards the sky. If you feel comfortable, you can stay planted in your right leg and arm and lift that left foot. Take a moment here. And you can return them, switching sides. So we'll extend our right foot back now. Knife edge of that foot is firmly planted back. You can rotate that left foot out to the side. Fingers are pointing towards the front edge of your mat. Extending right arm towards the sky. It's finding this expression. We're not slouching down into the side of our body that's towards the mat. We're pushing into the mat with the knee, the foot, the hand, as we reach up. Bringing the right arm towards the front of the room, as if we had a perfect angle from our fingertips towards that back foot. As we drop our hand, we'll come into some shoulder rotations, reaching out, dropping hand towards the sky as we inhale, bottom of our rotation, exhale. We'll return to tabletop. Come in one more shoulder stretch. So we'll go ahead and have the normal grounding of our tabletop. Plant into our left hand. We'll reach our right arm towards the sky. So we wrap our right shoulder, pulling that through the needle of our left arm. And keep your left hand planted. You can extend that forward, or you can bring your left hand behind your back. If you can reach the inner right thigh and coming into a full bind. If you're taking the bind, you're opening up your chest, letting that shine. But in doing that, we're not sacrificing. We're bearing the weight onto the shoulder. So we're not putting too much pressure onto our necks, but we're releasing into our shoulders. The star of the show was saying bye to our guests. We have some young gentlemen from Spain and the UK staying with me for a week. Switching sides. As we come out of that, we're planting our left hand. We're turning our right hand back to the ground. Our hips are above our knees in this pose. Now we're opening up on our left side, reaching our left hand up towards the sky, pulling that through. So I attend group therapy and it's called DBT, dialectical behavior therapy. And the word dialectical means that two opposing things can be true simultaneously. And what's been phenomenal about this therapy is the combination of mindfulness with the practicality of psychology. And so this therapy type works towards what they call in the DBTs wise mind. In yoga, we would just simply call it presence or awareness. But it's a balance of your logical rationale and your emotional body. And my last week of having car issues, I did not get to exercise to the extent I want, and I was down a lot of the week while working on the car. Just today, the issues that I've been facing, that's where the two opposing truths is very clear, that things don't always go the way we hope, the way we plan. But that doesn't have to be a trigger within us. It doesn't have to be a point that removes us from ourselves. It doesn't have to be a point that we have to have an extreme reaction over. It can be a lesson. It can be a point to bring us back to the awareness. It can show us, although confronting, the points that we can tend to, it can wake us up to where maybe we tend to go unconscious. Planting that right hand, extending a left arm back towards the sky, coming back into tabletop. From here, planting our hands on the ground, stepping our feet back, coming into our plank pose. This plank is your foundation for your basic push-up. You were in this pose quite often in yoga. So that line that we talked about while we were just in our supported side plank, or our gate pose, that was from our back knife edge towards the tips of our fingers. It's the same edge that we're finding from our heels towards the top of our head. So the angle from the back of my heels should relatively be the same one that's pointing out up towards the front of the mat in the room. From plank, coming into chaturanga, upward dog, back into our downward dog. And unlike downward dog, where our tailbone is at an apex towards the sky, that's kind of the opposite of where we wanted our plank. So our plank, we're flat along the whole backside of our body. As we hold this pose, you can still stay in your downward dog. You can bring your knees down into the ground if you need a break. But as you hold this pose, it becomes harder. More and more strain happens on your wrist. Your hips want to start to sag. Shoulders want to start to sag. Start quivering. That's where you start to come back to your breath. You're building resilience. You're building that fire. And that can happen all throughout yoga, and happens all throughout life. So that practice that we're doing here, if you can maintain the perspective of you are not these triggers, you are not your emotions, you are not these obstacles, you are the observer. While we're here on our yoga mat, it makes it much easier in our day-to-day lives. It's also not a point of failure. It doesn't have to be something that pulls us away from ourselves. It can be a learning tool. Coming back into our plank pose, we'll go ahead and take a few yogi push-ups, also just a close grip push-up or a tricep push-up. So we're tucking our elbows into our ribs, coming down, pushing back up, exhaling down, inhaling back, exhaling down, inhaling back up, exhaling down, inhaling back up, downward dog. So that's also the practice of the DBT, group therapy. And since I've started attending this, there's been a lot of times where I've heard from participants to the therapist teaching it that a lot of this seems like life skills. Wish it was taught more in our education systems, or just as we're growing up, it should seem like it should be common knowledge for this emotional regulation with ourselves and our interpersonal relationships and how we react with the world. And you can go ahead and drop to our knees. It's kind of philosophy day. These skills that I'm learning through group therapy are a lot of the skills that I've been learning for quite a few years now in yoga. And never had such groundbreaking therapy. First off, in the group environment, it helps have different minds, different walks of life come together. It's not just soul talk therapy through your problems, but it's bringing community together, bringing somebody else's past experiences, mixing them with yours while applying new skills to our tool belt. And this class is all about learning skill sets. So it seems sometimes at points it's more of a class than it is traditional therapy. And then for me, the mindfulness is the part I love. So we do a mindfulness technique every day. Either body scan meditation is what we did today, awareness of our breath, loving kindness meditations, gratitude meditations. We've done cloud gazing, body scans if I hadn't mentioned that. And that's how we start our class. And coming into this Western philosophy, the psychology part of that mixing, bridges the gap between that logic and that emotion. And that's what we're doing in yoga, is we're applying all these physical practices while constantly bringing the tune of our body back to center. These poses get hard, they get challenging. You're feeling pressure, you're wobbling, you're shaking, you're coming out of your comfort zone. Your breath is all over the place. It's not failure in a point to just turn off the video, to run away from your mat, to never come back. But that's where we work. We show up with excitement. We do it again, and that repetition and the practice is what yoga is. It helps us bring focus of ourselves and all of our dimensions as a human to the world. And we'll go ahead and bring our hands back to the top of our mats into our plank pose. This pose is very fierce. You start to hold this for more than a few seconds, and a lot happens here. A lot plays in your head, becomes strained breath. Your muscles start tweaking, start spasming. This is the perfect place to practice. Proving to yourself you can push just a little further than you expected. Coming to the tips of your toes. Chaturanga. Coming into an upward dog. Back into a downward dog. From here, we'll go ahead and take a few pike push-ups. So So the pike push-up is a shoulder push-up, keeping your heels reaching back towards the ground. Your tailbone and your glutes still pointed back. Here, letting your head reach towards the ground, back up. You can come onto blocks if needed. Helps create a wider range of mobility and takes a bit less strain off. And as well as your plank pose, you can use your blocks there. 2, 3, 4, 5. Dropping your knees to the ground. Don't be scared to use these guys either. I was really offset from props for a while. I thought it made me weak. I thought it made me less of a yogi, and I realized these are building blocks. They are not tools that are for a handicap. A lot of the times they can help you show you range in a posture, even if as an advanced yogi, you weren't even aware. They create spacing. That space is a buffer that we don't have to be perfect to be human. So taking a second here in Virasana, just coming back to our breath. And all this talk of philosophy. Planting our hands back towards the ground. I'll go ahead and do an example with the blocks. Stepping back into our plank. Walking towards the top of your mat. Do a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Holding back forward. Lifting towards the sky into Tadasana. From here we're going to go and come into eagle arms. Just our arms today. So go ahead and bring our left arm under our right. And if this is all you can get, you can just hug yourself. It's been quite a challenging class already. Like, plank pose is not easy. So I mean, I commend you if you made it this far into the video. You can bring the back of your hands together. If you can come into the full twist of the eagle. From here, we're lifting our elbows away from our chests in alignment with our shoulders. Breathing into the back of your heart. It's a very vulnerable spot. Doesn't always get a lot of attention. This is reversing the hunching that we do while we're holding our phones, while we're driving, while we're sitting. Breathing, exhale, inhale, reaching your hands away, releasing your arms. You can bring your arms out. Wrapping your right arm onto your left arm now. Again, you can just bring your hands to the back. Give yourself a hug. Come into the full bind. Reaching your elbows away from your chest, opening the back of your heart. Breathing into those shoulder blades. Into your, behind your rib cage, into your spine. Final inhale, exhaling, shake your arms out. There's been a lot on the wrists already, on the shoulders. Inhaling, lifting our hands to the sky. Forward fold, exhale. Stepping back into a plank pose. And from here, we are holding a plank for a minute. Don't. It was kind of fear-inducing. A minute's a long time, and that might have brought up some stuff, but you are capable of this. If you start to shake, feel into that. Breathe fully. Breathe down to your heels. Top of your head, out through your mouth. If it becomes too fiery, embrace the shaking. We're almost there. Dropping your hips. Do cobra pose. Releasing our chest down. Go ahead and come into Shamen. So from here, if you could see, we're bringing our knees off the ground, feet reaching back, engaging through our glutes and our quads. And our hands reach back as if we're flying through the sky. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Bring one cheek to the ground. Coming back into Shamen. Hands are reaching back. Your back body is pulling your chest. Heart shining forward. Legs are pulling back. If you're feeling it, you can bring your arms forward. Maintaining your back, lifting you up. Two more breaths. And release, dropping opposite cheek to the ground. Go ahead and bring your hands back into your side. And roll onto your back. So from here, similar to our eagle arms, go ahead and just put your right arm on your left and give yourself a hug. I got asked a question in group therapy today if I could eliminate any emotions, would I eliminate any? And my very first reaction was, without pain, we wouldn't know happiness. Without sorrow, we wouldn't know joy. And I've been through some shit. That's how I found yoga. I've been through sexual abuse, through, I wouldn't quite call it suicidal ideation, but just not caring if my life continued. And I would say yoga more found me. It gave me purpose. It gave me an anchor point, a place to return to, a place that those before me had practiced, had walked the path, and gave my body action, gave my mind safety, home. I wouldn't have this without knowing the places in the darkness that I wouldn't want to return to ever again within life. Go ahead and bring your knees into your chest and rock side to side. Grabbing the outside edges of our feet and coming to a happy baby. It's okay for your tailbone to be lifted off the ground. We're pulling our knees into the sides of our body. We open out into those hips, our outer hips, using our hands, our biceps to pull our feet down. Chin, a slight tuck with your chin, so your head is still extending long. From here, we'll take a spinal twist. You can go ahead and just bring your knees together and come into a twist. You can wrap your knees. You can extend one foot and wrap a knee over. Get both knees together, using your left hand to just apply some pressure to that top knee. Extend your right arm away. Looking whatever feels comfortable for you. Looking towards opportunity, possibility, positivity. But we're not looking away from negativity, fear. We're approaching those darker aspects with kindness, with understanding. Parts of us that at points we might not have been able to protect, or we cast it aside. Re-coaching, re-parenting with love, with compassion. Coming out of that twist, bringing your knees back into your chest. Extending your right foot out if that's the twist you took. You take the same twist to the right side. You can switch it up if you need to as well. Don't do yoga to be supermodels. Don't be yoga to be the best looking person in the room. Don't do yoga to contort the strengthening of our joints, flexibility, the ranges of mobility that we find in yoga are a byproduct. It can be enjoyed. They're not our main goal. These are tools to help our awareness understand the gap between what we observe and whom is observing. Bring our knees back in our chest. One final time. Take any last movements, wiggles, sighs of relief that you need, and extend your feet out, your hands out, your head tall, shoulders slightly tucked underneath our bodies, and then releasing into Shavasana, letting go of our attention to our breaths, our attention to our bodies, our muscles, our posture, our awareness, as we seal coat our practice. If you need, you can take longer in Shavasana. There's no need to rush back to the day. Slightly bringing sensation back into our hands, our feet, our limbs, our arms, our body, our hearts, our minds, stretching. You choose a side to roll onto. Just blink your eyes open. Coming back into a seated posture comfortably. Thanking yourself for showing up today. And I thank you, beautiful souls, for attending these practices. It's not easy work, but it is worthy work. Thank you for joining me here at Shamen Yoga. Namaste.
Two corners of the mouth lifting to the sky. That's called a smile.